Warning! This video blog or vlog could contain harsh opinions or foul language. If you do not appreciate said content or material, well, you could just fuck right off.
Greetings, internet people. RantingRamsay here. How are you all doing today? Today we're going to talk about something trivial, as you can see by the title down at the bottom. Oh, over here, somewhere in this general vicinity. We're talking about something trivial. We're talking about foods that I don't seem to care for, that everyone else seems to fucking love. Now, granted, you know, that's not everybody. I know that's a generalization, but you know what, let's just go ahead and get right on into it, because this should be a little fun. This is supposed to be lighthearted. We're not really digging or anything too deep today, but so this list is really in no particular order. I compiled my notes and realized that there's not really any particular order to it, although perhaps save for the first item on the list. A food that I absolutely cannot fucking stand for a number of reasons. Mushrooms of any variety. Fungus, people. It's fucking fungus. Why the fuck would you eat that? Now someone's probably going to jump up and say, well, what about hallucinogenic mushrooms? You know what? I've actually eaten my share of magic mushrooms in the past, and I couldn't stand the actual fucking consumption part. It was nasty. It turned my stomach. It almost made me want to fucking vomit. Now, once the actual fun started, sure, I enjoyed the shit out of myself. But it was the act of consumption that I could not fucking stand. I don't know, my brain kind of looks at it this way. Fungus is the shit that grows on food you refuse to eat. Think about that for a second. Fungus is the shit that grows on food you will no longer eat. Most people are like, well, no, that's mold. Well, you know, it's kind of like looking at moldy bread and saying, boy, that greenish, blackish, grayish shit on top of the bread looks really fucking tasty. Someone's going to pop up and point out, it's like, no, it's not the same thing. Mold and fungus are two separate things. True, but they belong to the same scientific phylum. Then they will continue to say, molds are a type of fungus, but there are many types of fungi out there that are not molds. For example, mushrooms are a fungus, but they are not a type of mold. So, you know what? You're absolutely fucking right in that regard. Fungus belongs to the same scientific family as molds, but there are many fungi out there that are not molds. I hear you. You're right. I'm still not eating that shit. It's fucking fungus. Fuck you. I'm not eating it. No. The next item on my list is cheese. Calm down. Calm yourself, Iago. You'll be alright. In some instances, a small amount of cheese can be extremely tasty. I will acknowledge that. If I'm eating a huge fucking like grilled chicken salad with lettuce and tomatoes and romaine and cucumbers and radishes and red cabbage and all this shit, a little bit of like shredded cheese or maybe some cubed like mild cheddar, not bad. It's okay. However, if cheese is the quote-unquote main affair of a dish, I can't fucking stomach it. Let me boil this down to you in simple fucking terms. Most people look at a piece of cheese and say, holy fucking shit, that looks like a tasty piece of cheese. I look at that exact same piece of cheese and say to myself, holy fucking shit, that milk is so spoiled that it's standing up by itself without the aid of a glass or a cup. You know what? It's a mental barrier. Obviously, kind of like the same thing with fungus, with mushrooms. It's a mental barrier, obviously, but it's a mental barrier that I just cannot seem to overcome with myself. That milk is so fucking bad that it's standing up by itself. If you go to pour yourself a glass of milk and it comes out lumpy, do you look at it and go, boy, that's some tasty fucking milk, and grab a spoon? No, you throw it all in the fucking trash. Jesus, spoiled milk plus bacteria and mold. I mean, let's talk about fucking blue cheese. It's got mold in it. Go back to the whole fucking mushrooms thing, fungus and mold. That's genuine fucking mold. And you're eating it because you think it tastes good. Why throw away that fucking moldy loaf of bread? Just eat that shit if mold tastes so fucking good. Yeah, and that kind of extends to like yogurt, sour cream, and cottage cheese. They all, for me, fall into the same fucking category. That fucking milk is spoiled. Why would you consume it? Are you out of your mind? No, obviously, it's not going to hurt you. You know, this opinions, this, almost on the border of jokes. You get what I'm saying. So, moving on to the next food item that I cannot fucking stand, that the majority of the world, or at least the American populace, seems to think is the greatest thing ever. And whenever I tell someone I don't care for those, they look at me like, are you a communist? But bagels. I fucking hate bagels. I've never liked them. Ever. What's so great about bread that's so dense you have to almost burn more calories attempting to chew it than you actually get from consuming it? You know, like a celery reference, but you know what? I like some fucking celery. Anyway, raw bagels? No fucking thank you. Nasty. Toasted bagels? No fucking thank you. Still fucking nasty. Well, someone might say, all you need to enjoy them is a little bit of cream cheese. See the previous entry. Fuck you and your spoiled milk and stale bread. I don't want it. I don't like it. Get that shit out of my face. It's fucking nasty. And the final thing on my little short list today of foods that I fucking despise, that I absolutely hate, that everyone else, or at least a majority of individuals, seem to enjoy, is fish/seafood. Now, I know there is a decent part of the world where fish and seafood is the staple of their diet, the protein staple of their diet. I simply can't eat it. Maybe I spent too many summers off Long Island Sound in West Haven, Connecticut during low tide, but all seafood, fish, lobster, shrimp, shellfish, oysters, you fucking name it, tastes to me like the pier or the wharf or whatever you call it in your area smells at low tide. Anyone who's been by the ocean during low tide, been on a fishing wharf or something, has smelt that fucking smell. It is disgusting and nauseating to me. Many of you will then say at this point, well, you've just not had good seafood. Bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. I've eaten at fine dining restaurants and establishments, 2 or 3 fucking star establishments. I think I've even at one point in time in my life eaten at a 4-star restaurant. And at each and every single one of these restaurants, when I eat one of these extremely fine dining establishments with the family members or something like that, I usually order some sort of like chicken or beef or something along those lines. Hell, at one point in time I even had their garden salad option. It was fucking tasty as hell. But someone, of course, inevitably says, oh, dude, this lobster is so good. You have to try it. These oysters are so good. You have to fucking try it. This tilapia is so good. You have to try it. This asahi tuna is so... yada, 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 yada. And I go, you know what? Okay, in the interest of fairness, I'm gonna fucking try it. So I try it. And it tastes exactly like the pier/wharf smells. Not Worf the Klingon from Star Trek. You know, pier, wharf, nautical. Tastes exactly like these places smell at low tide. So, you know, I've had your fine dining seafood. I've had your, like, this is supposed to be really fucking good. Horrible. I fucking hate it. It's just horrible. It's nasty. It's disgusting. I cannot stand seafood. And the very last thing on my list, I only have one sentence to say about this. Or no, I think I alluded to fish/seafood being the last thing on my list, but I misspoke. The last thing on the list, one sentence. Cilantro. It fucking tastes like soap. Period. Alright guys, I'm RantingRamsay. That is all.
Hey, did you get all that, man?
Douche.